morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told how to voice the radio. So today we need to take a look at, well, it's actually that Yokohama deck, the one I showed you yesterday, the Pikachu Yokohama deck. Because you see, ladies and gentlemen, well, it might actually not have been yesterday, it might have been a couple of days ago. I'm not entirely sure how time works anymore. But at some point, I showed you this Pikachu Yokohama deck. And I told you that things were looking, well, I told you they weren't looking amazing. I told you they were looking a little bit hairy. I didn't use that phrase, that's a weird phrasing. And I told you that actually this might end up being a little bit harder to get hold of than some people were imagining. And that was based on the fact that the lottery results came out from the Pokémon Center online. It's basically the first place to buy it. There's other places I'll tell you in a minute. But basically, entering the lottery on the Pokémon Center online, that was your first opportunity to get one of these. So you enter the lottery on the Pokémon Center online, and if selected, and the way the Pokémon Center actually works is it is automatically charged. So you've got to be a little bit careful if you actually want it. It's automatically charged, shipped to you, only ships in Japan, jobs are good, but it was there and it was available. You could go and get it. And everyone lost the lottery. Now, I showed you a poll yesterday showing you that a lot of people, 65% of people, had actually lost the lottery. The final results of that are in, and after 40,000 votes, we ended up with 53.5% of people that went and lost the lottery. But like I've told you, 18% is actually people who are just, the results go, I was successful, I wasn't successful, I just want to see the results. So we need to bear that in mind. So if we actually do it, what we do is we need to just find out exactly what percentage of people actually answered yes or no. That's 81.9. We divide 53.5 by 81.9, and we end up with 65%, which is basically the same as yesterday. I'm going to be honest with you. We had another 15,000 votes or something, and the results were basically the same. It seems to be that roughly 1 in 3 people that entered that poll actually went and got the deck. So then, of course, we need to think, well, are people panicking about this? Are people going, oh no, I can't get this deck, that's rubbish? Or are people going, well, it's going to be all right, I can get it later? Panic was actually the answer here, ladies and gentlemen. Pure, unabashed panic. I need to give a shout out here to somebody that shared an image just to stop me having to go and find it and make it, which I very much appreciate. Matthew Byron went and shared this image on Twitter, showing that not only was it being listed on Mercari, but it was selling. And look, I'm not adding all of them up and finding the exact average, but it's about 45,000 yen. There's one there for as low as 36, there's one there for as high as 55, but 45,000 yen seems to be about the mid-range. Now, that seems to be about the average, which is a lot, incidentally. It retails over on the Pokemon Center online for 3,500 yen. If you're able to pick this up at the World Championships, more on that in a minute, this is going to be a product that you can pick up for 3,500 yen. That is very, very cheap. I'm cool with 3,500 yen. I do not mind paying that at all for, a product like this. It's kind of fantastic. 3,500 yen if you're working in dollars comes out to pretty much dead on 25 bucks. 3 cents extra if you want to be a pedant. I don't right now. And then if you're talking about pounds, it's 19.50. So it's less than 20 quid. It's like a 20 quid deck. Or, like I say, if you're in the US, it's a $25 deck. It's nice and easy. This is good value for what you get. We'll talk about that more in a minute. It is not, I think it's fair to say, particularly good value at 45,000 yen. And look, I don't need to tell you too much here because 35,000 yen would be 10 times. 45,000 yen is more than 10 times. 45,000 yen is $320, tiny bit of rounding, or £215. Almost no rounding at all. 17p, we rounded off. So yeah, I'm not paying 250 quid for this. 20 quid, yes. 250 quid, no. Or if we want to go for dollars instead, $25, yes. $320? No, I'm not paying that. That is a ridiculous sum of money. And look, I cannot tell you what this is going to settle out at. Can't do it, ladies and gentlemen. Cannot do it. What I can tell you is this is an absurd amount of money for a product which, frankly, we haven't let settle. Like, let's take the Precious Collector box as an example. This is the one that's got that amazing Pikachu promo in. It's that awesome box that everybody loves, and it's absolutely stunning. I'm actually showing you the Taiwanese picture here because for some reason in Japan, they never showed us an image that had the promo and the box and all on the same image. Bit weird. There we go. Here's a better look at the Pikachu. It's amazing. And it came with your binder and your frame and your storage box and your Pikachu promo and all of that. It's absolutely stunning. It's a box that when it was actually released initially, it was a 17,600 yen product. That's what it retailed for. And this was made to order, so I did pick it up at retail, as did a bunch of people. It was a $125 product. And to be fair, it has been creeping up since, and it's a bit more than this now. But in March, which was a pretty good time, you know, shortly after they'd all been sent out, etc., you were picking this up for like $500. It does tend to be a little bit more than that now, but that's how much it was selling for at the time. It was a $500 product. It's ridiculous. But actually, $125 to $500, you can kind of understand it. It's like 4 times the price. It's super duper expensive. No arguments here. But I do think it's fair to say that actually it's a better deal than spending £250 or $320 on what was a $25 product. I'd like to say it's more than 10 times. That represented a better deal. And here's the thing. We aren't in a hurry here. We shouldn't be in a hurry anyway. Now, I'm just having a quick look here over on eBay in the US, see what people are actually paying for this. Well, it's being listed at ridiculous prices. Here's 3 in a row, one for $430, one for $500, one for $335. Depressingly, that $335 is actually a ridiculously good price. Makes me sad. Wussy. No one's actually paying this, are they? They're getting it slightly cheaper. I will say that the ones that have sold do tend to be a little bit cheaper. No, actually, that's not strictly true. So one sold for 200, yay. One sold for 260, yay. But then, like literally yesterday, there was a promo alone that sold for 315. Just the promo, not a box as a whole. Now, this is where my anti-scalping stance is going to come around and bite me. Because I've said if I get a second one at the World Championships, I will be donating it to the lovely Primal Lugia, who I know is very much after one of these. So I suppose I'm giving up the opportunity to scalp this, boo, hiss, etc. But unfortunately, this is a big issue at the moment. It is being scalped massively. And that is a huge problem. And look, as a product, it is great. Because it does come with a full 60 card deck. Some of the cards are on the screen here. You got Koraidon, Miraidon, both the Professor's Research and an Ultra Ball. Yes, it has that amazing Pikachu promo, which is one of the coolest promos they've released in years, maybe ever, which is absolutely stunning. And then there are a whole bunch of other stuff. There's a deck box, there's sleeves, there's all kinds of amazing things. Here's the full content you can see on the screen here. It is a great product, no argument about it. But I'm not paying 300 quid for this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just not. So what are the options? Well, the options are don't buy it now. Like, I understand that some of you are not going to be able to get hold of this for whatever reason. I might be in that camp. I sincerely hope I'm not. And some of you may well end up buying it on the secondary market and paying ridiculous prices. That's fine. Wait till after Worlds. Because, yes, it sold on the Pokemon Center and the lottery was not terribly generous purely because of the amount of people that entered. I'm willing to bet there were plenty of them being sent out. There's just a redonkulous amount of people that actually entered. But the fact of the matter is, it's not just there. It is going to be sold at Pokemon Centers around Japan. around about the world's time. And yes, I understand they're going to sell out super quickly. There might be lotteries, I don't know, but it's going to be sold in some capacity. And it's also going to be sold at the Pokemon Center at the World Championships. A note about this, and I did mention this in my video yesterday or the other day, but I do think it needs to be repeated. Please bear in mind they're not going to have infinite stock. Now, I sincerely hope this is limited to one per person. It should be. Most of the sought-after products are. But I'm going to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to run out. This is going to be one, I imagine at least. Again, look at the resale prices. I imagine this is going to be one of the most sought-after products at the Pokemon Center at Worlds. The Pokemon Center at Worlds is going to be absolutely rammed from the minute it opens till the minute it closes. And this is going to be one of the most popular products in the shop. It is going to sell out. And it is probably going to sell out fairly early. And I hate saying this, but if you are specifically after this, I do think need to try and find an earlier slot as possible. Because I do think this is going to sell out. Now, it might be restocked throughout the day, but that's obviously completely unpredictable. I'm just telling you what the deal is. It has gotten ridiculous price-wise, which genuinely makes me really sad. But I also think it's very much worth pointing out. This is the first salvo. This is, until it's properly over, this is the worst it's going to be. Do not pay these resale prices, because there's going to be a bunch released in Pokemon Centers in Japan, there's going to be a bunch sold at the World Championships, and in my naive little heart, I hope that the people buying it at Worlds are people that want it for themselves, or people that are going to go and, sell it to their mates at the exact price they paid for it. That is my dream. I know that's not going to happen. There's going to be a bunch of people buying it to resell, which makes me really sad. If that happens, and it's going to happen, it will at least drive the price down because more of them will be available. You have been warned. For now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about this. I want to know how much you want this. I want to know how much you're willing to pay for this. I want to know anything you want to tell me. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Martin Cornwall, who's been a supporter of ours since the very, very, very early days of PTCG Radio, back when it was a podcast in 2012, and is a very lovely person. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.